Hello, I'm Kevin Berger, author of Atheism is Untenable. There's no shortage of channels of religious individuals engaging in apologetics to defend their positions, and there's no shortage of channels of atheists using counter-apologetics to argue against them. But what about atheists' defense of their own positions? Who is holding them accountable? On this channel, I don't engage in apologetics. Instead, I apply the principles of polemics and skepticism to atheism and the claims made by atheists, of which, despite their insistence to the contrary, there are many. This is Justified Nonetheless. What's going on, tumbleweeds? Today I have the third ontological argument against non-belief for you. Let's take a look at that. The non-belief is Incoherent Omnibus. Number 3. The argument from the excluded middle. Premise 1. Based on the principle of the excluded middle, there are two options, P or not P. The law of the excluded middle can be expressed by the propositional formula P or not P. It means that a statement is either true or false. Think of it as claiming that there is no middle ground between being true and being false. Every statement has to be one or the other. That's why it's called the law of the excluded middle, because it excludes a middle ground between truth and falsity. Premise 2. In the case of dichotomous propositions, the degrees of credence granted between a proposition and its negation are inversely proportional. The less likely one finds a proposition, the more likely one finds the negation of that proposition. This is known as principle of duality or principle of inverse probabilities. Premise 3. The existence of a third option, apart from believing a claim is true and believing a claim is false, has not been substantiated. The existence of a distinct state of non-belief is the point of contention. Conclusion. Therefore, there is no middle ground between not believing P and believing not P. If proposition P is subject believes proposition X is true, then the negation of this proposition, not P, is both subject does not believe proposition X and subject believes proposition X is not true. This is because a tertiary position of non-belief has not been substantiated. Indeed, this is the point of contention. Therefore, to argue otherwise results in circular reasoning. It is for this reason that any assertion that saying one believes either a claim or its negation is not a false dichotomy. One cannot logically appeal to a third possibility until such a possibility has been substantiated. A good illustration of this would be the question of an even or odd number of stars versus the result of a coin toss. The former is a true dichotomy. However, the latter has a third possibility of the coin landing on its edge, unlikely as that outcome may be. Therefore, I don't believe that the result will be heads or tails has some justification. I don't believe there is an even or an odd number of stars does not, because no other option has been substantiated in reality. It is just asserted. That's 3 arguments down. More to come. Until next time, tumble on, tumbleweeds, and remember, even if your beliefs aren't necessarily true, they may be justified nonetheless.